Hi, everybody. Tim Ports from BBI International. Welcome to the International Fuel Ethanol Workshop and Expo podcast series. Happy to be joined this morning by Cam Fowler with Phibro Ethanol. Cam is presenting on Wednesday, June 15th in the 8:30 spot on a panel called Best Practices in Plant Control, setting up your plant to efficiently capture, interpret, and react to inbound operational data. Cam will be giving a presentation called Statistical Monitoring in a Fuel Ethanol Plant, and encourage everyone to check out the online agenda, see where Cam is presenting, and join him at 8:30 on Wednesday morning. Cam, thanks for taking a few minutes to talk to us about your presentation.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I was looking at your abstract in preparation for our discussion today. The abstract makes it clear that we are living in a data-driven age, and data capture, of course, offers enormous value for ethanol producers. Yet your abstract offers some thinking that points to a simpler way to get your arms around data capture and utilization, as opposed maybe to sort of a full-blown artificial intelligence deployment. If I got that right, am I inferring that your presentation offers maybe an easier path forward to data capture and use?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, the tools for data analysis are growing by leaps and bounds all the time, and I think, to your point, it's clear that we do live in a real data-driven time, but those tools are, as they grow, they're becoming more complex, and you need some either specialized software or understanding how to apply those tools. And so, something I've always done in my career for a long time is work with, the more basic tools that have been around for a very long time and that are proven as well. And so I think they can work hand to hand together to be able to use some of the simpler stuff, the stuff that still works, in conjunction with these other more advanced tools.
Got it. And speaking of some of those simpler historical tools, the abstract also talks about the use of control charts. And I'm guessing that's what you mean by some of those tried and true methodologies. And the question I had for you is, what types of fermentation discoveries do producers typically make when they begin to adopt and utilize control charts in their operation?
Yeah, and that's a big feature. So control charting is a tool that's been around for a very long time. Most everybody's familiar with it, but it doesn't always get deployed in an ethanol plant, extensively. And one of the learnings I think that you can by using control charts that you can come up with is you can find ways to see when your process is in or out of control. And so it gives you a tool for spotting when things are changing in the process. And so you can get a lot of insights into your process. And this is, I think, some of the benefit is that it's a tool that's simple enough that can be used by, the operators in the control room without much difficulty, and it's easy to understand. And so without a lot of training, you're able to follow the process, and it gives the operators and the people who are, looking at the process most often, a tool for being able to see when things are changing and when they should be able to make, process changes themselves. So it really discovers when your process is in control and out of control, which is, I think, a big benefit.
Another thing that you point to in the abstract is the use of control charts to understand when or how to calibrate equipment. That seems like a pretty important thing to understand when your equipment is in calibration. How do control charts help producers, or how can they be deployed to help producers understand when to calibrate equipment?
Yeah, and that's a big thing that was something I learned very early on in my career and I didn't understand. As a chemist, that's my background. You thought I would come out of school knowing how to be able to understand how to calibrate equipment. But I learned about it that, when you use control charts, you can understand you should only calibrate when your equipment is, in control or out of control. And the control charts help you do that by allowing you to see when a piece of equipment is not operating optimally and when it should be calibrated. So that's the difference between, say, standardization in calibration. You're standardizing the equipment frequently, but then you are, to check it, and you're running this on a control chart. But then later on, what you're doing is you're calibrating it only when it's out of control. And so the control charts allow you to do that in kind of a simple format. So that's kind of how it works. And if you don't do it that way, it leads to higher variability. So, everybody's trying to reduce variability in their process. And by following good practices there with the standardization and calibration of equipment, you can reduce the variability of your equipment.
Understood. I'll wrap with this question, and it's kind of a big picture question, and that's about where the industry is in terms of data capture and utilization. How would you characterize, again, sort of the aggregate, most of the ethanol plants out there? Are we scratching the surface in data capture and use? Are we sort of well on our way? Are we kind of an advanced degree level? Where's the industry on the potential for what data capture might offer, in your opinion?
The industry has great potential for utilizing the data. And I think where they're at right now, they're capturing a lot of data. They're getting a lot of really good data. Most plants, we work with a lot of plants. They're doing a great job of capturing the data. I think it's when you go to what we call transforming the data from data to information. That's a step I think that most plants could use some help with, because and that's where I think they see the most value. As far as data capture, plants are doing a great job. They have data, they have a lot of data, and they're looking at it themselves as well, and I think doing a good job. But I think where it could improve is just transforming that data into useful information for them. So that's the area I think that needs the most improvement, but it's the area that I think the plants are also very interested and willing to work on to do that. And they've grown so much over the past 10 years or so. They're doing so much more with the data than they ever used to. So they're doing a great job.
Thanks a lot, Cam. If you are an ethanol plant and you certainly recognize what Cam said about capturing a lot of data and are figuring out how to convert that data into usable information, please join Cam and other presenters at the 8:30 a.m. panel, Best Practices in Plant Control, setting up your plant to efficiently capture, interpret, and react to inbound operational data. Cam will be there presenting statistical monitoring in a fuel ethanol plant. Cam, thank you so much for the time this morning, and we look forward to seeing you in Minneapolis this June. Thank you.
Thank you.